Hi, everyone. I'm Christopher Thornycroft with Redwood Logistics, and welcome to the Redwood Rundown for the week of April 17th, 2023. We're halfway through the month of April, which means that we're starting to get a little bit into that produce season. What's happening with produce season right now? Well, yesterday was the pack date for Vidalia onions. With that pack date, we saw the Savannah, Georgia dry van market go up to 5.7 to 1. So a little bit of pressure that's starting over there. Then in Central Florida, we've seen the reefer load to truck ratio go to about 6 to 1. Miami's still about 7 to 1. That's starting to rise. We saw costs start to rise across our boards throughout yesterday. We've watched that reefer outbound tender rejection index for Lakeland, Florida. That's come off the floor, but really that was really at the floor. Overall, the reefer outbound tender rejection index for the United States incredibly low, just about 3%. But down in Florida, it was about 1%. That's now risen in Lakeland, Florida to about 2.6%. That's still significantly lower than even where we were at this point in time last year. We were hovering around 5 to 6% on the outbound tender rejection index, and everyone was saying, wait a second, what's going to happen to produce market? Is there not going to be a big produce season this year? So that's the way we're trending again. Now, we've been watching the USDA domestic produce shipments index, and that's been telling us that domestic produce shipments are down by about 30% this year over last year, and last year was significantly down over 2021. So we don't think that there's going to be a very strong produce market, but to say that there's not going to be any impact, well, that would be overstating it. Obviously, we've already felt it over here at the brokerage. For the rest of April, in the dry van sector, we're anticipating, as we've stated before, a very soft environment. That soft environment is likely going to continue all the way through the end of the month, with some notable exceptions for southern Georgia, for Florida, and then we'll see that pressure start to rise up through Georgia as the month goes on. Really, once we get to the beginning of May, that's when we usually see that Atlanta market really heat on up. So until then, we can anticipate a lot of softness. Now, there will be carriers that are trying to head their trucks down into that market. When they head those carriers down into that market, they're not going to be looking for cheap rates coming out of there. What they get, though, still is yet to be determined. We don't know when we're going to start to see those spot market rates start to uptick. To this point, they have continued to come on down. We maintain that as long as there is this large spread between contract and spot, which hovering around 55 cents right now, that's going to be really tough to see spot rates rise off that floor until we get to, road check, which we've already advised everyone, take your PTO. Oh no, it's too late. Everyone knows. You can't take that PTO now. Now everyone knows. All right, well, do the best you can. Hey, everybody, hope that you have a great week. Thank you very much. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.